Everybody, welcome back to the center lane of the political discussion for those of us who are in the middle, who want our politicians on both sides to just get along and get something done. Not too far to the left, not too far to the right, straight down the middle. Compromise is not a dirty word. Okay, we're about 60 days in with our President Trump, and well, you know, let's talk about that for a second. Is there a method to this guy's madness? I'm not really sure. It makes you scratch your head and wonder, like, things that make you go, huh, right? Interestingly enough, I'll start with immigration, I guess. Sending people out of the country, trying to get people out of the country, but I think he's become frustrated because if you look at the numbers, and numbers don't lie, by the way, he hasn't deported near what he said he could. And now, listen, it's hard to deport people. They don't just come knock on your door and say, hey, I'm not supposed to be here, you need to send me back home. It don't work like that. You know, it takes manpower, it takes, you know, flushing people out. This latest thing with taking these guys down to El Salvador, 250 prisoners, well, you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater, because some of those people, a lot of them probably, you know, need to be deported perhaps, but to go to that prison is rough. And a lot of these people, they're finding out, just because they had a tattoo doesn't mean they're a gangster, right? So anyways, that's a whole thing in itself, and hopefully the people that deserve to be there will stay, and the ones that don't will be sent back to their home country and their families or whatever. But that was kind of an extreme move. But I think what he's doing is he's frustrated because his numbers aren't even keeping up with Biden's numbers as far as deportation. So what they've been doing lately is, and if you're not a either U.S. citizen or somebody with a green card, you know, don't go traveling out of the country, because they got ICE hanging out at the airports all over the place, all over our country. It's a real easy way to pick people up and deport them. And that has been something that a lot of these people are in the process of going to get their green card. Some of them, you know, aren't. But, you know, and most of them are people who overstayed their work visas and their travel visas. Like I said earlier, they were definitely pouring over the border with Biden there for a while. It was pretty bad. But the bulk of them are people who overstay their travel and work visas. That's the most of the people that are illegally in this country right now. A lot of them have been here for years. A lot of them are trying to go through the process now of becoming legal, but when you're in that gray area and you're coming in from, like, say you're coming in from England, you want to get back in the U.S., don't be surprised if you don't make it home that day, because they're picking people up right and left there. He wants to get his numbers up for his base or whatever. I don't know, to prove a point. I mean, look, you know, it's not an easy process. Like I said, it's very difficult to catch people and then to get them, you know, through the system and deport them if necessary, if they're deemed necessary. Nobody's deported more people in the history of this country than Obama. Obama's numbers even eclipse Eisenhower. Eisenhower was known for, you know, doing what Trump's trying to do right now, but nobody did a better job of it, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, than Obama. And I know people go, what? Obama? No, he's from the left. Is he? Well, you know, this left-right crap is getting kind of old, don't you guys think, after a while? You know, we all want, I think most people, 99% of us want what's right for the country, and we want to do it the right and fair way. That's who we are. So, to be continued on the immigration front, Elon Musk seems to be just, you know, continuing to become a very unpopular person. I mean, when you got President Trump doing car commercials for you and during news conferences, you know you got yourself you're at the right guy on your side. But you know, people are boycotting Tesla, and I don't believe, you know, of course, attacking and burning and all that stuff, that's crazy. You know, the violence is never the answer. So you know, nobody, I don't think anybody, you know, except for the extreme, or to support that. But another reason Tesla is hurting is because there's a lot of other electric cars out now. I think the BDE or the BDF or whatever, the China car, they're killing them in China right now, because China's making a car at half the price. It also becomes charged much quicker, et cetera, et cetera. So he's getting crushed over there. So the fact that he was in on with the Defense Department talking about China was a little bit like hinky, you know. Again, he has a lot of conflict of interest. I thought something was kind of funny. I read an article the other day. It's like NASA's getting cut and slashed, and somebody wrote an article about, okay, those 2 astronauts came back home. Welcome home. Glad to see you. By the way, you're fired, you know. But yes, SpaceX is still getting their subsidies or their contracts from the government. So again, I mean, you got to look at that, and if you're being objective, you got to see that there's a conflict there. So, not sure what the deal was with Musk. I always, you know, kind of liked him from afar, but since I've seen him this side of him, I'm not impressed by it. You know, slashing people, firing people, then the courts bringing them back. It just seems like, is there a method to this madness? What's going on? Because really nothing's getting done, but a lot of people are getting stressed out and their lives are getting upended. Do we all want to get rid of the waste in the government? Oh, heck yeah. You know, it's in the Defense Department, yeah, it's really bad there. There's a lot of waste, there's a lot of, I don't know about fraud, but there's a ton of waste. So the idea is great, but I don't think that's the guy. He's the guy. Let the people that are in charge of the secretaries, or that are in charge of that, like Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Agriculture, let them, you know, look for where the waste is, and you know, and do it intelligently, you know, with a method, with some kind of discipline. So I find that a little disturbing. But anyways, that's kind of the couple of things. There's so much more and we can go on, but we'll cut that part short. Just wanted to leave you with one thought. I was talking with my wife the other day, and I'd heard something when I was a kid, I think, where people that were religious were going, this guy was, you know, they were talking about the rapture or whatever, when God comes and takes everybody back, or Jesus, or whoever you believe in. And they said, he made a comment like, what if the rapture happened and only mammals that got taken from the planet were the whales and the dolphins? That got me thinking. I was like, wow, you know what? They kind of got it figured out. They all got 3/4 of the world water. They don't fight. They only, you know, they can communicate almost, you know, telepathically in a lot of ways, or with their signals and stuff. They have, you know, a society, and they live peacefully. So we as mankind are very arrogant and think that we are the rulers of this planet. This is our planet. But you know what? Maybe we're not as smart as we think. I'll leave you with that one. Okay. Talk to you later, guys. Have a great day.